growth series. Oh my goodness, I cannot talk today. Take two. Um, so I feel like it might not be working right now, but I think it is because the last one I did, it showed. So yes, so healing slash growth series, third component is faith. So first, I had talked about nutrition. That is where I started my healing slash growth journey. Was good nutrition came into my life. So I talked a little bit about nutrition and how that is really good for you in your healing and just growing as a person. Second was having that support team or a support person. So having that support through your healing and your journey, someone who's going to be there for you no matter what to support you as you are healing and growing. So the third component, which I am super excited to talk about, is faith. So for me, really looking back at where my journey all began, yes, nutrition was the start of it. But then as I look back, faith came into it early on. And so everyone's faith may look different to them. Maybe it's God, source, energy, Buddha. It could be anything. So really just turning to something bigger than you. And right now, I think right now, I feel like we all need a little faith in our life right now. And I was debating on wanting to do this video today, but then I was like, Trisha, you need to do this video because right now people are struggling. We may not look like we are struggling, but we are struggling because our routines have changed and our family dynamics have changed. And we may not be thinking we're struggling, but then all of a sudden, we are. Maybe, we're yelling or we're getting into some arguments and fights just because like everything is shaken up. And so I was like, I need to talk about this. And so my faith is God. God has always been in my life. Now, for me, have I always been active? Has he been active in my life? At times, he's been in my life and out of my life, which I know he's always been there, but me seeking God. And so for me, God has been a huge part of my journey. And for me, actually looking way back, I grew up where we didn't always go to church every weekend, but we went as much as we could. And I did all the religion classes and all that. But back then, I really didn't fully understand it. I just did it because my mom said, we got to do this. But then I will say I did start journaling. So journaling has been a huge part of my journey. And when I journal to God. And I actually journaled in high school when I was a teen. And I always would start out with, Dear God. God was my person that I would journal to. And then I would just journal out my thoughts or whatever I wanted and my wishes and hopes and all that. And then that kind of fizzled out, as I got older and went to college and, I grew a little bit out of that. And then, so 3 years ago though, when, life was hectic, and that is when all of a sudden I realized like something needed to change in my life, and I didn't really know what that was. And like I said, the nutrition piece came in. So that is where my journey started. Then I had made the decision that, turning to God, I just made that decision like, okay, so part that I like remember definitely in the journey, and I'm not quite sure if it was probably about 3 years ago or maybe a couple of years ago. I'm not quite sure, but I decided to start listening to Christian music, and I felt a little awkward listening to it. I've heard heard it before, but I was just like, oh, this ain't cool. Like, we have all these like ideas in our head and these false beliefs and like how people are like, well, that's not cool. Or you know what I mean? And those things like stick with us. So it did feel awkward right away to start listening to it. But I just, at that moment, I decided like I needed to start flooding my brain and my mind with positive things or just like uplifting things. And so it started there. I started listening to Christian music. And like I said, God has been in my life. I've gone to church here and there, but never really fully understood it and it's immersed and started to even learn more as an adult about it. And so in those times when life is really tough, because once again, we are not immune to human pain and suffering. We all have it, no matter who you are, where you came from, what you do, what you wear, where you live, whatever. We all have pains and we have hardships. We have battles we're fighting. And when you're in one and you just don't know what to do anymore, you have to turn and you don't know where else to turn and you don't know what to do and you're ready to surrender. You're ready to just fight this battle that you're in and break through. You need to turn to someone bigger than you. And I decided to turn to God, and making baby steps to doing that is starting to listen to Christian music. Like I said, it was awkward right away, but then I started really like listening to the music and the words, and it just resonated with me, some of these songs and these words, and like, oh my gosh, yes, that is what I'm struggling with right now. Yes, this is, it just, and then also on the other end, there was this uplifting music and like, so for me in the beginning, it was more some of those hardship songs that we could like relate together. Like, oh yeah, I'm going through that right now. I'm feeling that, and then now where it's like, I listen to it and it like uplifts me and like praising to God and like, just what we're doing in this life and why. And so Christian music was a step to getting more into my faith. And some of you out there may be like, I don't know what my faith is. And we were all raised differently in that category. And there is no, well, for one, we were all placed here on earth. And, if you are following God's mission and all that, we need to love one another, no matter who we are. But we need to love. So love is huge. That is what Jesus is and God is love. So, started listening to Christian music. Then I started, making an effort, like, I'm going to go to church more and stuff. And then actually, then people start coming into your life, which is amazing. God starts placing these people in your life to help you on your journey. And a wonderful coworker had introduced me to this app called Bible. And I thought, I was like, Trisha, just show people. My daughter's playing on my phone right now, so I'm going to show you on my iPad what it looks like. Hopefully you guys can see it if I show you. But a friend had told me about this Bible app called Bible, and it's amazing. It has so many different like types of Bibles because there's different versions of the Bible. And then there's different plans that you can do. Let me find it here. Okay. So I know I have the background I wonder if you can see this, but if I point it up here, hopefully you can see. Oh, here it is. This is what it looks like. Holy Bible, YouVersion. And then I'm going to click into it. I'm just going to kind of show you so it looks a little different on here. But you can have different friends on here. So you can do different like studies, but then they have these plans. So if I show you like my plans, So it has different plans for like anxiety, stress, or, I don't know if you can really see those good well, but they have different plans. Like some of my plans right now, I'll share with you, are finding freedom from fear. We all have fear, right? We are fearful. Like a lot of people would be fearful to hop on Facebook Live and be vulnerable. So finding freedom from fear, because God is with us and God is taking care of us. So we should not fear. I mean, yes, if we're getting like chased by a bear or something, yes, we should be fearful and run. But, and then another one that I'm reading is Jesus in Me. So learning more about Jesus. So, my belief is God and in Jesus. So learning more about Jesus within me and how, I can live out how he lived. And then becoming an extraordinary leader, because I want to lead other people. And so some other plans are, because you can like save plans. It's just so neat. And it's what I loved about this is this really helped me get back into my faith and start putting Bible verses to real life. And then just really it clicking with all the stuff that was happening in my life and these different plans, because what it is someone like writes the plan and they kind of start out, and maybe, maybe I'll just like live, so like one that I saved was living with purpose, being changed by the power of prayer, I am the light of the world. I mean, there's so many different things, problems and pains, overcoming difficulties. So this has helped tremendously, and I know it can help other people in their journey. Like you are God's masterpiece. So I'm just going to start this one, like living with purpose. And it's just so you can like start plan, and you can do it by yourself. So no one else can see what you're doing, or you could do it with friend. Well, it says, yeah, by myself. And then it asks you, do you want it private or can it be visible to friends? Yeah, this is kind of long, but then it basically goes through, once again, I don't know if you can see, but so the person who created this plan then writes up kind of like a thing. And then you go through different Bible verses that that are in that realm of the title or whatever, or the what am I trying to say? But the topic. So that has been huge. That app is called the Bible app. There's different versions of the Bible out there. And it has been huge in my journey, and just really turning to God for answers to help me through the stuff. Journaling. I started journaling again 3 years ago, and journaling has been huge. It's amazing, like how it can help you. So for me, once again, I journal to God, and then I just write out like what is in my head, like my frustrations, my anger, like, God, why am I acting like this? I need help with this. And writing out plans, writing out dreams, like pretty much just putting what's in my brain on into my journal. And I don't know, I think it's crazy because I probably have like 6 or 7 journals from the last 3 years at least. So even journaling has helped me with my faith, and just kind of writing out thoughts. But faith has been huge because, like I said, you really, when you're in a spot that you don't know what else to do, and, yeah, turning to God, like surrendering and being like, I can't do this on my own. I can't figure this out on my own. I need help. Another thing is that I thought I would teach you, since I had just learned this too. I'm not sure if it was a year or 2 ago or whatever, but once again, grew up, going to church, going to religion classes and all this. And I never knew really how to read a Bible, because we never really read the Bible at home. My mom took us to church and she took us to the classes. But, when you're young and all that, I kind of goofed off. So I have a Bible here. I got this Bible when I got married. So like I said, there's different versions of the Bible, which also every version of the Bible, some of the readings are slightly different, but meaning the same thing. And so I was like, how do I read the Bible? So, you look at the Bible and you have, so just a little teaching education. You have the New Testament and you have the Old Testament. So the Old Testament is before Jesus came to earth. So it was God and his different, prophets and like creating the world and all that kind of stuff. And I'm, once again, not an expert in this. I'm still learning. So in my healing and growth journey, as I started feeling better by the nutrition, having support, and being surrounded by these people who are growing and working on themselves, then I wanted to start growing in my faith. And faith also helped me in my journey. So this is kind of like, I know it's hard. I want to show you guys but this is kind of what it looks like. So you open the Bible and you're like, okay. So I picked out a couple verses to read with you that kind of like resonated with me. So, we have in the New Testament, we have Isaiah. We have Isaiah 41. So what does, like, if you ever see a verse, it'll say like Isaiah 41, and then, this is bad, I'm not sure what the 2 dots is, like what the technical name is for it, but so it says Isaiah 41:31. And I'm like, okay, what does that mean? So what it means is you find Isaiah and you're like, okay, yep, you go to page whatever. You find the chapter on Isaiah. Then you find 41. You find Isaiah. Well, and actually I was going to read the verse we're going to read and look at is Isaiah 40:31. So then you find Isaiah 40, you find the page and you find Isaiah chapter 40. And then you'll see all these like little numbers next to like these words. You'll see all these like little numbers, and then you're going to find, then I'm going to find 31. And then that is the verse. So I just learned this, like, I don't know, maybe it was 2 years ago. But it was recently. And I went to religion school like all my young years. So that's, a little sad that I'm just learning this. But you know what? Everyone's faith journey is going to be different at different ages of life, all of that. So the verse that really has, one verse that has resonated with me, and I think it will fit suit of what's going on right now. But so Isaiah 41:31 is, they that hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar as with eagle's wings. They will run and not grow weary, walk and not grow faint. So basically us, us turn to the Lord and we hope in the Lord, he's going to renew our strength so we can soar through this life like eagles do. And so that we can get through this life and not grow weary and not grow faint and weak. So that's, it's pretty cool once you can start like interpreting the Bible and it being, and it's hard because like I said, everyone's journey is different, you guys. Like this just came to me at 36, maybe it was 35 years of life. And it's so cool though. So that's one verse that really, strikes a chord, and this was written like years and years and years ago. Like, so that's pretty cool. Now, I was going to say, what time is it? Oh, you guys, I'm doing a live workout in like a half an hour. So, yeah, so it's like, that is so Cool. And then now, like Isaiah and like all these, they're different like prophets and people who like followed God and Jesus. And yes, that part I'm still learning. But there was one more verse that I did want to read you guys. So once again, this verse is Philippines, which there are words in the Bible that are very hard to say for me. But Philippines chapter 4, 13. Once again, this is just going to kind of help us, hopefully, like uplift us. But I have the strength for everything through him who empowers me. So basically, we have the strength through God who empowers us to get through these battles that we are fighting. So that's I'm trying to see if there's other so that's a little bit of my faith journey during my journey of healing and growing, and I'm just very passionate of sharing this with people because I really want to help people on their healing journeys, and with no judgments. And so I hope this is helpful to you all, and please like reach out to me if you have any questions about anything. I'd love to answer them for you or help you and guide you in any way. Like I said, I'm still learning and I'm still growing on this journey that I've been on, and now it's really growing my mission of why God created me to be on this earth and how I am to help serve and help other people. And so I'm very excited for the last series because that is also part of my passion and who God has created me to be. And the last series or the last component is body movement. So stay tuned in. Not quite sure when I'm going to hop on and do that one. It might be next week. And then during that one, I'm going to kind of tie it all in together. And I really hope this helps you. And I hope you're all having an awesome day and enjoying this beautiful weather. And please feel free, like I said, to reach out. If you want to move your body here in like 25 minutes, half an hour, I'm going to be doing a live Zoom workout that's going to be about 30 minutes long. So please tune into those too. I really enjoy doing those and getting people to move their body. Today's body mantra is I move my body to fight the coronavirus. So, So with love, everyone, have a great day, and I will talk to you all soon. And tune in for the next component, body movement.